Hey guys, so it's been a while since I've uploaded, and I know that I haven't given really an update at all. I have been out of the hospital for a while. I did go to inpatient care. It was a facility in Ohio that I went to, and lots of things happened, basically. I haven't been really even thinking about doing a video recently, just because my mental health hasn't really permitted me to do one. Sorry, my hair is incredibly tangly right now, but yeah, it's been a while since I've uploaded. I've been through a lot of stuff in the past few weeks, and I just wanted to just have an open discussion about it. If you have any questions about like my inpatient stay or anything, just, comment below. I'm just gonna go like about how generally it was. So I went to an inpatient center in Ohio, and hold on. Got my little hair thingy. Went to an inpatient center in Ohio, and I stayed there for a week. After my last video, not the next day, but the day after that was the day that I went into the center. I've been back for a week and almost a half at this point. So I've thought a lot about my experiences. I've done a lot of reflection. I've done a lot of self-reflection, a lot of reflection on my experiences there. Overall, it wasn't a bad experience when you factor in the fact that before I went, I didn't want to live, But if you also factor in the fact that, it doesn't fix everything just to go to an inpatient treatment center one time, It wasn't a cure for my body dysmorphia because it didn't treat my body dysmorphia. The place that I stayed at, it was decently nice. We had activities that we could do. Coloring books, coloring pages. We had our own markers assigned to us. We had our own pencils assigned to us if we ever needed a pencil. Our hygiene products were kind of one of the bigger issues that I had, because it did kind of feel like, even though we were in a facility that was for people who were in a crisis, they didn't trust us really at all with any of that stuff. We couldn't bring it to our room for more than like a few minutes. Taking a shower, it was one of those showers that you like held, and then like it would come on for like 15 seconds and then go off. You kept having to do that like when you would shower. And so it was a bit annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a little bit annoying. And as much as I want to say that it like really helped me a lot, it wasn't bad. I think the facility itself was more like, it almost felt like a daycare for mentally ill people rather than a place for them to be helped and to recover. It felt more like, these people are at risk, we're going to put them in a room together and hopefully they'll get better You know, it wasn't like a planned thing where they're going to have specialists come in and just target everything that's wrong. It was like, oh, you feel a certain way, you want to come in here and hang out and watch TV for a few days, or, you know, you could come and you could, I don't know, just do the therapy sessions that they have. So schedules daily were like this. You would wake up, there would be breakfast at like 7:30, something like that. And then for the rest of the day, you kind of just could choose whatever you wanted to do. You weren't forced to go anywhere. You were not told that you had to do anything except for, you know, when to turn electronics off. So like I said, it's kind of like a daycare, but for like mentally ill people who are just having a really rough time, in crisis mode, basically. For me, I was in a really rough like position, wasn't eating, things like that, and I realized halfway through my stay that it was probably just going to be a general like, oh, you know, I mean, you can like stay here and just kind of recover, but when you get out, you're gonna have to find a specialist. So I'm still looking for a body dysmorphia specialist. Still on the search for one. I don't have many leads, I won't lie. And recently I've been feeling really terrible about my appearance. And so that's a whole other thing that I have to deal with on my own. I can't deal with it like I used to by sitting in my room, taking pictures of myself, posting them online, looking for validation. I can't keep doing that. Even if I'm the most hideous person on earth, that's never not going to help me. It's not going to help me. So the good things that came out of it, right? Schedule, at the very least, it gave me some form of, structure. So I would get up, I would eat breakfast, I would do what I have to do. I would go to every group therapy session there was, even though they were optional, because I was like, if I'm here, I'm going to start doing something. So I went to every group therapy session. Overall, they weren't bad. They were general CBT, DBT things. There was a prayer group, there was a coloring group, there was, we listened to some music sometimes. There wasn't a lot of stimulation there, I will say that. The biggest thing was, we did movie nights. I did meet a couple friends there, which is crazy for me because I never make friends in person. So that was a big thing. And these friends that I made, they have their own struggles. We talked a lot about that. We talked about struggles in groups. We did papers and would write down like goals and coping mechanisms, and we learned about just different grounding techniques. It was all pretty general, but to someone who had never, like, if someone had never heard that stuff, they would find it incredibly useful. So for me, it may have been a little general, but for some people there it wasn't. I did meet a friend, though, who has really impacted me in the past 2 weeks now, almost. I feel very, very grateful to this person for putting up with me and my body dysmorphia and just trying to, even if they don't understand, to listen and to accept what I say, because it feels like a lot of people don't understand and they just don't try to accept it. They immediately go to, oh, well, it's not that bad. You're just upset because you don't look like this or that. Body dysmorphia can be very severe for some people, and for me, it's incredibly severe. It's incredibly bad. It hurts me sometimes just to wake up in the morning and know that I don't look a certain way or that I will never be a certain way. And it's a very painful experience for me, and he seemed to understand that. And such a nice person. He doesn't know about, He knows about my channel. He's never seen it. If he watches this video, that might be a little weird. But I'm really, really grateful for him. And I'm grateful to the people that I met at the center, because all of those people have given me a new perspective on, people struggling with mental health, because the only perspective I had was online. Now I think about people struggling and how they live their daily lives. Sometimes they mask it really, really well. And all I can think is, how many people out here are struggling? I saw, people at their worst, people at their lowest point when I was in the hospital. And how many people are on the edge of that, that you walk by every day when you go to the store, or when you're at work, or your friends. Like, what does it look like in your friends? So it just kind of helped me feel less alone, I think. I thought that the center was good for socializing. I tried my best to socialize. I'm not a very social person generally. I tried my very best. I think it worked out because I did at least make a couple friends. That was really nice. I'm glad that I went out of my comfort zone and did that. I guess I'll say the downsides. The food was, it was okay. It wasn't great. That's just, a thing that, if you're there every day, you kind of have to push through, I guess. Snacks were okay. There were fresh, fruits mostly, some milk and water, and I wish they had Dr. Pepper, because I love Dr. Pepper. But they didn't. Of course they didn't. And the coffee is obviously uncaffeinated. It's decaffeinated. They didn't really give us much caffeinated anything, which I would have loved. I love caffeine, coffee, anything. It really brightens me up and makes me feel more whole. And then, we did movie nights, which was really, really fun. We had movies. It was an okay experience overall. Now, there was an incident that I had, so I guess I won't explain it in full detail, but there was someone who did harass me a little bit, and I kind of felt the way that it was handled at this specific place was not okay, because in the situation, I was the victim of the situation, and the harassment could have turned into something worse. And looking back on it, it was incredibly scary. I was scared when it was happening. It happened at night. Something bad could have happened. And just looking back on it, I'm not going to go into great details because YouTube's very weird about this kind of stuff. But it could have been very bad. Had I have been someone who was easily manipulated, or let's say naive, the situation could have gone from it could have gone from bad to much, much worse. The way that they handled that, kind of treating me like I was the one with the problem when I reported the behavior that was happening with another patient, they made me sleep in a safe room the night before I left. And all I could think was, why am I the one sleeping here? Why doesn't he sleep there? Why should I be the one who has to sleep in this room? He's the one who harassed me. The next day, thankfully, I left, but they made no effort whatsoever to keep us apart. They were just like, oh yeah, just let him walk around and possibly corner you, possibly talk to you again, So that was probably the worst experience I had there. It was pretty isolating for the last day that I was there because I was scared, something bad almost happened, and I don't want anything like that to happen to other female patients. So that's why I reported it, and the fact that they didn't do anything until me and my friend were pushing them to. We were literally complaining about it so much that they had to do something about it. It was just ridiculous. It was a ridiculous thing, and it partially ruined my stay, I think, because They weren't taking it seriously, and they should have been taking it seriously. Overall, though, that was my stay at inpatient. I learned a lot of different skills. I met a lot of different people, listened to a lot of different stories. Overall, when I came back home, I stayed there for 6.5 days, I think. When I came back home, I was a little sad because I thought in my mind, I'm back here where I was super depressed and I'm not really sure what to do now. And now I'm dealing with, more body issues. While I was there, I didn't really have to worry about that stuff. And now I come home, it's like I'm back from my vacation and now reality is set in and I'm like, that was just a short trip. Now the real work begins. So it's a lot. It was a lot when I came home. I was okay for a couple days and then I started to get sad. I called my friend. I was like, let's hang out, let's hang out, let's do something, let's just get away from it, because I don't have a lot of in-person friends and I really just needed that, I just needed to get away from my house. And I think that my house is partially why I was in such a deep depression for so long. It's my room, it's my house. I need to get out, I need to socialize, I need to work on myself, and I need to just go outside more. Something that's really funny, while I was at the hospital, they took my blood like every day, which was really annoying. I still have a little bit of scarring from that, like the bruise is almost gone. But what was really, really funny to me, anyway, is they told me that my vitamin D levels were undetectable. Undetectable. I was like, how is that even possible? How is it possible for my vitamin D levels to be that low? And so they're undetectable, apparently, and now I have to be on vitamin D, a weekly pill and a daily pill. So that's a thing, I guess. Anyway, yeah, that pretty much sums up my experiences there. Got on some new medication, supposed to stabilize me. I got my eating more under control. My body issues are still up in the air, bad. They're not great. I have been getting out more. I have been focusing on self-care more. I have been really, really trying recently, and I really hope that in the future it will pay off, But for now, that's probably it. Probably gonna spend some time with my cat, seeing as she's crying at the door. But I just wanted to say, I'm sorry for taking so long to upload and give you guys an update. But I really appreciate all the support that I've been getting from when I, went to the hospital. I was really anxious about it. I was just kind of scared how people would, react, I guess. I was hoping that they wouldn't be afraid for me. But it's okay. Everyone has been really, really nice and very supportive, and all my friends, I really appreciate them. And my new friends, I really appreciate them too. So yeah, I guess that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.